Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. Now, if you are enjoying these episodes, please support the channel by pressing the like button and subscribing. And the question of today is, what country are you watching from right now? Put it in the comment section down below. I want to see you guys say it. Also, don't forget to follow me over on Twitter at TheDustyBC, and also make sure you check out my second channel called Dusty Finance. No advertisements on any of these videos, so make sure you go ahead and check it out. There will also be a big giveaway, something quite big if we hit 1,000 subs, so make sure you go ahead and check it out. Now, guys, Bitcoin has been going completely mental within the last 24 hours, last, 36 hours as well, and all came after Stellar rose like crazy. But Binance, by the way, has also recorded $12.6 billion in Bitcoin trading volume alone over the last 24 hours. That to me is completely mental, completely insane. So, yes, they didn't hit anything like this for a very long time, because the last time they did, it was during the bull run of 2017. Back then, by the way, Binance did also not have the futures, which they do have right now, which could mean a couple of really cool things for the future as well. But basically, one of the things I fetched from this is that the move we're seeing right now is actually backed by a lot of freaking volume, all right? A lot of people are trying to buy in right now, and I think a lot of it is because we don't really know what's going on too well. We don't know whether it is what I discussed yesterday, the halving FOMO, or it is something completely else. But since people are indecisive, they buy in like crazy. Also, that is supported by some of the articles I've been seeing. To read, data shows that the ongoing crypto rally could be highly sustainable. Bitcoin saw a technically significant uptrend today that allowed it to erase virtually all of the losses resulting from the meltdown it faced in mid-March. Its $1,000 climb today sends shockwaves throughout the crypto market, leading many altcoins to post notable gains. Now, I personally actually think that the altcoins fueled the Bitcoin rally, because Stellar went up by crazy over the last month, followed by XRP moving upwards, and then afterwards Bitcoin went on. But this uptrend comes after what appears to be a month-long bout of extreme accumulation from investors, signaling that this uptrend has been driven primarily by retail investors. Data surrounding the number of wallets with a non-zero balance, as well as Bitcoin's dwindling open interest, both seem to confirm this notion, which is another good possibility as well. Bitcoin's uptrend reaches a boiling point as retail investors drive massive movement, which is also another point, and on-chain metrics point to notable retail investor base growth. So all of this actually supports the idea that this growth and this movement that we're seeing right now, in price specifically and primarily, is all backed and is all supported. And all of that, they're not too much talking about this FOMO from the halving. But if the data they're talking about in this article is correct, then it's not just some FOMO and people buying in like crazy because of something quite crazy. No, it's actually just backed move. It's a backed move. It's a legitimate move right here, not just a pump and dump. And that would mean a lot of good things. However, that's just one side of the story. As here another article is published, Bitcoin tanks below $9,000 under heavy selling pressure. Now, we all know any market has its ups and downs, but we've seen a lot of pressure pop in just after it hit the $9,400 mark on here at Live Coin Watch. It went down quite quickly again afterwards. We're seeing it deteriorate quite heavily, although it's still plus 6% on the 24 hours, still doing pretty damn juicy. And I would also not state there's not another move in the pipeline here. Despite smashing through both $8,000 and $9,000 thresholds in under a day, the price of Bitcoin has dropped $600 in hours. Can it stay alive until the halving? And that's actually one of the biggest questions we must be asking ourselves, because even if it's all backed by the retail investors, which could be the case, it all still is going to come down to the halving that's going to be coming up soon. Because if this movement, this drive is supported until the halving and it doesn't deteriorate straight afterwards, it means that it's really a back move. If it's deteriorating up till the point of the halving, it means it's more of a halving FOMO type of scenario. especially if it goes down like crazy after the halving. It means even more towards that idea. And that's why I think it's so volatile and so crazy to get into crypto right now if you haven't gotten any, because it's a really scary place we're in. It's really a place of a lot of uncertainty. Now, talking about uncertainty, the Ripple CTO, David Schwartz, had his YouTube channel suspended. And a big question popped up right now from a couple of, I guess, members of the community or people who know about it. And they asked, is this coincidence or intentional? David Schwartz has his YouTube channel suspended following a legal suit being filed by the blockchain company just 1 week ago. Taking it to Twitter earlier this week, Schwartz revealed he had his channel suspended, and he highlighted the reason for his suspension was due to impersonation. So, I'm actually not too much worrying about this at all, but one of the things I am wondering about a little bit is like, maybe because Ripple filed a lawsuit against YouTube, they're like, you know what? All that has to do with you, we'll just block to be sure. All the people that are having an account with your name in it, with your signature, with your pictures and whatnot, we'll just block it all. So yeah, so we don't have to mistake it. So we're not tempted or anything like that. And I think it's a bad thing because on the one hand, they're censoring people who don't deserve to be censored. On the contrary, the lawsuit doesn't hold that well anymore if they just block everything. If they're like, all right, we're preventing all the scams because we're blocking all the impersonation possible, but also blocking the real thing. I guess they kind of won themselves. So it's a little bit of two sides. But also, one thing I noticed is that they're blocking a couple of channels right now, as I've seen a couple of other people on YouTube, like Tone Vase, I believe, or some of those guys get blocked in the last 2 weeks or so. And it's really always close to bullish Bitcoin times and really crazy times in the YouTube crypto or crypto YouTube that people get blocked. Like last year, I believe, somewhere in last year, maybe the year before, I think last year, the best time ever for my channel. I think I got 300 subscribers in one day, and that's only once I've ever gotten that. Mostly I get 15 or so. Exactly after that day, my channel got blocked for a couple of weeks. I just had the most viral video I've had, at least for crypto, that is, for XRP. I think it had 40,000 views. And literally the day afterwards, my channel got blocked for some stupid stuff, for a video of 3 years ago talking about crypto. And, I guess that time 80 of my videos were deleted. It was really insane. But then afterwards, a half a year later, exactly the same thing happened. My channel started to take off a little bit again, did good. The views started ramping up a little bit. I get about, I think maybe 6,000 views a day normally, but then I got maybe 15 or so thousand a day. And exactly the day afterwards, once it started to do good, yep, they blocked my channel again. And I think it's always when crypto starts to take off a little bit, I don't know what they decide to do, but they just mess you up. And maybe now as well, XP was doing really, really damn good, and all of a sudden, XP guys are banned. It's interesting. Trader who predicted $1,000 Bitcoin warns of an imminent sell-off. Hendrik Zeeberg, the trader who predicted that Bitcoin would nosedive to $1,000, tweets that a new liquidation phase is going to start today. Liquidation phase starts today. Equities, bonds, gold, silver, Bitcoin, US dollar is king. Take care. Well, you do whatever you want. I'm not giving it any second at this point, because if he's predicting $1,000 per Bitcoin, it's just a pretty big bear. Whale warns. Current Bitcoin rally is illiquid and overextended. And again, that's supported with a lot of other articles stating, this move that we're making is not as sustained as some others are saying. No, it's actually illiquid. It's just completely insane. We went up too much in too short of a time, and we're going to be losing all this, so better prepare and watch out. A couple of keynotes from this article. Bitcoin FOMO rally ahead of its mining reward halving could fizzle, warns a top analyst. The cryptocurrency has more than 21% to log its best week since June 2019, but whales think that the uptrend has come on the backs of poor liquidity that raises the possibility of a sharp pullback. So this poor liquidity basically says this move was could be done just because there isn't enough liquidity, and we'll see the other side of that pretty soon when everything starts to crumble because people start to notice and because it's not really possible to keep it continuing. I see here a quote: "The weekly Bitcoin chart is the definition of an illiquid altcoin." They will retweeted. Zero Hedges Tyler Durden this Thursday. Hilarious cycle it's been though. My hope is that the halving will financially destroy as many Chinese miners as possible, and we can actually have a legitimate bull market instead of this pump and dump movie. Well, yeah, like the idea behind this whole statement is not that bad though. It's pretty nice, I guess. Liquidity crunch, yeah. I mean, we're going to be seeing this halving, and I think that's what we should be waiting for a little bit. However, there's also another thing talking about USDT pumping Bitcoin. The global economic crisis is far from over, so the answer to whether or not traders and investors would remain exposed to risk on asset amidst the CV pandemic could help give a clear direction to Bitcoin. But according to the whale, nobody's discussed the question about the Bitcoin market's low liquidity. He even went ahead to say that Tether's stablecoin USDT artificially inflated the price of Bitcoin to lure into the halving narrative. To quote, "In periods of risk, some investors will choose to exchange into a better store of value. Yeah, try telling this to someone convinced that the only use case for USDT is pumping up the price of Bitcoin, lol." Because that's a retweet from Stuart Hugner, who said, "As we have said all along, stablecoins don't inflate crypto markets, tethered Bitfinex." All right. Fidelity-backed Fireblocks opens Asia offices to pitch crypto hot vault. Fireblocks, a platform that secures digital assets in transit, is expanding its business in Asia with 2 new offices, one in Hong Kong and the other one in Singapore. Tezos becomes latest blockchain to tap Chainlink for Oracle services. Pricing feed protocol Chainlink has integrated with yet another blockchain, this time Ethereum's rival Tezos. Pretty damn good. They're making some pretty damn big moves right now as well. Doing pretty damn juicy. I mean, Chainlink and Tezos are both very popular coins at this point. Doing very, very good. The flywheel effect. This, by the way, comes from Martin Falk. He just shared it with me over on Twitter. He showed me this, I guess, a report over on Ripple's website, which reads, "The full report of the $47 trillion market," or blockchain and payments report. Blockchain and Payments Report, the flywheel set in motion. The second annual Blockchain and Payment Report reveals widespread adoption of blockchain-based payments by financial service providers. Strong adoption signals that both customers and providers have both proven the value and feasibility of blockchain. Moreover, trust has been won to further fuel innovation and increase adoption speed. Factors including simplified implementation and regulatory clarity are necessary. These factors are highly likely to be met over the next 24 months, given the competitive drive exhibited by survey respondents and the collaborative efforts of providers and regulators. Download your free copy of this report, which he did most likely, and we can see right here one of the pieces is the flywheel effect, which is what we just kind of explained. But the spinning flywheel is a good analogy for the pace of blockchain and digital asset adoption. Flywheels used in heavy industry require significant energy to start spinning, but once they gain momentum, tend to continue spinning. The flywheel is spinning for blockchain and digital asset adoption, but the industry must still overcome key challenges to move the wheel for adoption faster. In blockchain and digital asset adoption, the energy lies in providing businesses or proving businesses and customers value and technical feasibility. In the 2018 Blockchain in Payments report, early adopters proved value and technical feasibility. The spinning trigger is proving viability by scaling this technology across the majority of respondents. For the flywheel to spin faster, it requires expediting implementation for financial institutions gaining regulatory clarity and the boost that digital assets offer when paired with blockchain tech for cross-border payments. And here we can see the flywheel for blockchain payments. Value of feasibility, 1, proving value, 2, proving feasibility, step 3, moving to production, 4, building trust and demand, 5, expediting move to go live, and 6, boosting with digital assets. Right now, they're kind of in the step of moving to production and building trust and demand. You know, whenever I think about these types of deals, I'm like, you know, it's actually what I'd like to explain to you guys more often as well. It's just a little bit of a waiting game we're doing right now. We know Ripple has the technology. We know a lot of companies are really out to use it and to see it. It's just a little bit of a waiting game before they've proven themselves enough that all the parties are trusting each other. And all the parties are, I guess, to a certain point where using crypto, using digital assets is not as vague anymore because they've seen it now that it's okay. And Portugal chases crypto-friendly status with new free zones for tech. Building on previous advantages for traders and miners, Portugal continues to establish a crypto haven with technological free zones. In a bid to drive innovation forward and stimulate the economy, Portugal has recently approved a nationwide plan to encourage digitalization in several fields. Published on April 21st, the Digital Transitional Action Plan puts forward multiple ways in which Portuguese government will provide infrastructure and incentives for innovation, entrepreneurship, and competition, as well as internationalization for enterprises in the country. That's pretty damn cool. They got themselves some technological free zones. That's pretty good to hear. Pretty damn nice, pretty cool. I'm not in Portugal. I don't know if you guys are, but let me know in the comments down below if you are. Put it down there. Let me know where you are from anyway, even if you're not from Portugal. By the way, guys, that was it for this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. See you guys again in another one. There's going to be more coming out today, so make sure you subscribe. See you guys again in another crypto video.